Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's video we're going to be doing a quick page in my mini art journal. Now we're going to be using the new collection from Nuneka for Funky Fossil Designs. It's called Click with Love, and I really want to show you how easy it is to use the paper pad and the rub-ons to create really quick journal pages, but also it's perfect for quick cards, scrapbooking layouts, anything that you enjoy, even memory making and album keeping. This would be absolutely perfect for that. So I've just selected this page from the paper pad, and I really want to use that element as the focal piece on my page today. So I'm just kind of working out where I roughly want the layout to be, and then I'm going to cut it down to size. I'm going to cut it just shy of the size of the page, just so that we can add a little bit of extra detail to the journal page today. So once I've done that, you can see that it fits nicely there with a border down the side that we can add some stenciling to in a moment. But first of all, I'm just going to tear the edge very carefully just down the page, just to kind of add to the vintage feel of the page. I really just want to add this detail for a little bit of extra interest. Of course, if you don't like tearing your pages, you could use a die that gives it a torn edge, or the decal edge trimmer by Tim Holtz. But yeah, once I'm happy with that, I'm going to bring in this gorgeous stencil that was part of the collection. This stencil is called Celluloid, but I'll leave links to all the products that I'm using today in the description below if you're interested. So next I'm going to use Vintage Photo Distress Oxide and a blending brush from Funky Fossil Designs just to add some ink blending down the right hand side of that journal page where the paper is not going to quite cover it. I'm then going to spritz it with some water, and then I'm going to dab it with some kitchen towel. And when I dab it, it took off a bit too much of the ink. So I'm just coming back in with the stencil. It's quite easy to line up. Going back in with the excess ink, and I'm just going to spritz over the top of the stencil this time. I'm then going to bring in my heat tool, and I'm just going to run that all over the page just until it's nice and dry. I'm a little bit impatient. You could of course just leave this to dry naturally, but I find that using the heat gun is absolutely fine. It just speeds up the process. Next, I'm going to bring in the pattern paper, and I'm just going to use the same Distress Oxide down the edge of the torn edge, just so that none of that white is exposed. I'm also doing a little bit of ink blending on the back, and you'll see why in a moment, because I'm just bringing in my tweezers here, and I just want to curl around those corners of the pages, just so that it kind of looks like a used page, or a used page. I'm just going to add a little tear in the middle there, and then again I'm just going to add a little bit more Distress Oxide over that, just again to add to that vintage feel. So once I'm happy with that and I've worked out where that's going to go and how it's going to look, I'm then going to bring in these rub-ons, and I really want to use the one with the film strip here. So I've just fussy cut that out using my Cutter Bee scissors, and then I'm able to just kind of work out exactly where I want the placement to be. I want some of that film strip to be sticking out of the top, some of it will be hidden, but I also want the flowers to be exposed. I'm just using a Bonefold just to push all over that rub-on, just to make sure that it's got good contact with the page, and then I'm able just to peel off the transfer paper once I'm done. It's easy to know when you've transferred it because the transfer paper is harder to pull up, so you'll know when you've transferred it, it slides off easily. You can always push it back down and rub over it again if you need to, but yeah, they're really, really easy to use. So next I'm just going to add some glue to that pattern piece of paper, and I'm just going to get that stuck down. I've not gone right up to the edges because at this stage I'm not really sure if I might add anything else along the edges, so I just stick that down. Next I'm going to bring in the backdrop stencil. Now this is a really, really pretty pattern. And what I want to do is add some foiling to this journal page using this stencil. Now, I've been wanting to try for ages the Tacky When Dry gel medium from the Crafters Workshop. So this is what it looks like. It comes in this small pot, it's creamy white, and when it dries tacky, so you can use it to add foiling, gilding flakes, glitter. So yeah, I've been really wanting to try it for a while. I think it's a great product because you can use it through your stencils to also add a little bit of dimension as well. It was so easy to apply. If you're used to using stencil butter, it was really, really easy to just add on here using a palette knife. Now, if you watch my channel for a while, you'll know how much I love gilding flakes, but I really wanted to try the Wow Fab foils, and so that's what we're going to be using today to just add a little bit of foil into this page. So once that's all applied, I'm just adding a little bit of excess back into the pot, a little bit on my palette knife I'm just going to add to that bottom left hand corner, and then we need to set it aside to dry. You can use a heat tool on this, but I would recommend just leaving it. And once it's dry, as you can see here, it is clear. So that's when you know it's ready to add the foil to. So I've got this rose gold fab foil from Wow. I haven't used it before, so this is the first time using it on camera, and it really just highlights how easy it is to use these products. So I've just trimmed a little bit off using my Cutter-Bee scissors, and then I'm just going to press it onto the areas that have got the gel medium, and you can feel it underneath your fingers, those raised areas where we've put it through the stencil. So once I've rubbed it all over, I'm just making sure that I've got really good contact with the gel medium. I don't think you needed as much pressure or as much going over as I do here, because when I came to add a few more bits later on, it applied really instantly. So I'm just rubbing over all of the areas, making sure that all of those areas are covered. If it looks like you've missed anywhere, you can again just pop the foil back over it and use it again. And as you can see, there's loads of foil left on this sheet that can be used in another project. And here's a little bit of a close-up footage of how that foil looks. It is really, really pretty. I really feel the camera's not doing it justice today, because in real life, the shine, it's almost like embossing powder. It's really, really pretty. So I've gone ahead and cut a sentiment from the transfer sheets or the rub-ons, and it says happiness lives inside the smallest of moments. And I'm just trying to work out where on my page I want it, and I decide that I want it on the bottom right hand corner, but where I would need to place it so the text would be visible, it's just not going to work. So what I decide to do is add it to a little bit of white cardstock. And of course you could do this with all the rub-ons if you want them to have a white background or a different coloured background, or you don't want to stick them directly to your project, you want to put them on a matte layer first. So yeah, it's another great way of using rub-ons as well. So I'm just using my mini Tim Holtz trimmer just to trim the sentiment down, and then again I'm going to add some more Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo just around the edges, just to kind of help it blend in with the background that I've created, and then I'm just dabbing off the excess water with some kitchen towel. Next, I'm just going to have a little play around with my layout. So I know I want my sentiment in that bottom right hand corner, but I've also gone ahead and fussy cut one of the butterflies out of the paper pad. I'm just going to add a little bit of foam tape to the back of the sentiment, and then once I've stuck that down, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue to the butterfly, and I'm just giving its wings a little bit of shape just so that it's not completely flat on the page. I've just got some flowers which were also fussy cut from the paper pad, and I'm going to attach those either side of the sentiment. So as always, I'll leave some close-up photos of the journal page at the end. All the products will be in the description box below if there's anything you're interested in. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you watching this video. Please don't forget to like and leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more from my channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.